Apple just announced iOS 18, and it's offering a lot more customization to the home screen with you being able to move apps anywhere, a redesigned control center with even more customization, the ability to recolor apps, new features in Mail, new features in Messages, RCS support, and the list goes on and on and on. There's even a new passwords app, right? There's a lot of features in iOS 18, and I want to give you my first hands-on impressions with it. I'm actually really excited to start using this. And yes, iOS 18 is feature-packed, and I know all these exciting announcements, you are rushing to download this developer beta, but a word of warning, betas are highly unoptimized and buggy, and hey, if you download it, you're probably gonna get a lot worse battery life on your iPhone. And I don't know about you, but my iPhone 15 Pro Max is already down to 91% of its capacity, so I need to charge it more than ever. But thankfully, our friends at Anker sent over their new Anker Power Bank 10K Fusion to keep my iPhone charged through this busy week. And trust me, this power bank solves a lot of problems. First of all, I love the built-in USB-C cable, so I don't need to worry about packing a separate cable, and it makes it much more portable, so it's easy to slip in my pocket on the go. The USB-C cable is also super strong and durable, and I can even loop it around my fingers and still use my iPhone even when it's connected. Despite its small, lightweight size, it is still packing a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, and it has a really nice digital display, giving me the exact battery percentage so I don't have to second guess how much charge this thing has left. And it has fast 30 watts charging, so it can charge my iPhone 15 Pro to 50% in just 25 minutes, and it's powerful enough to charge my MacBook Air and my iPad on the go. What really elevates this power bank to the next level is the 3-in-1 design, because not only does this have an extra USB-C port to charge another device, but it's also a full foldable power brick. So I can just take this, plug it into the wall, and charge my iPhone and my AirPods at the same time while also charging this power bank. So it's kind of like the ultimate all-in-one charger. You don't have to pack a separate battery bank and a power brick, you just need this. And if you want an even more portable option, Anker also has a really nice smaller version of this charger that offers the same capabilities with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that is even more compact. To get the ultimate portable battery bank and keep your devices at full charge, make sure you check out the link in the description, and thank you to Anker for keeping my devices charged and for sponsoring this video. All right, but let's take a look at the iOS 18 developer beta because there's a lot more customization in here than I was expecting. So I think that all starts off with the new home screen customization, and there's a lot new here. Now, first of all, I think the biggest announcement was that you can now place apps anywhere. So you can see I have it pretty much in the standard iOS view where the apps are kind of neatly arranged into this grid system, right? Which they still are, but now when I go to long press on the home screen, you're gonna see something you've never seen on an iPhone before. I'm gonna take this app and I'm just gonna move it over here. And look at that, the apps don't automatically rearrange like they used to, right? So you can just kind of keep doing that. I can take YouTube Studio, I can move that over here. And if you move it over here, these will obviously rearrange automatically like before, but I can take the podcast and move it all the way over there, just down here in the bottom. Let's take a bunch of apps off this screen. Let's move them to this row over here. And you can see, you can basically just take these apps, kind of place them wherever you want now, as long as they're still in that iOS grid system. You can kind of arrange these to your liking. So maybe if you want some of the midsection exposed, if you have like a photo here, you could just move these over here. Let's move this over here. And there you go. You have a home screen now where you can just have these apps placed anywhere. Another cool thing with the iPhone's home screen is when I was playing with this, I noticed that they added a way to more easily resize widgets. So you'll see as I long press here, there's this new little pool tab on the bottom of the widget. And instead of just like going and deleting this widget and adding a larger widget, well, now you can just pull on here and we can make this into a really big weather widget, or we can even kind of shrink that down to the mid-size weather widget. So that gives you more customability, quicker access to change widgets on the fly. But here's a really cool thing about iOS 18 home screen customization. So once again, we're gonna long press and you're going to hit edit in the top left. Now you're going to either be able to add a widget or customize, hit customize, and look at this. So you have all these different things now, right? So you can now make the icons larger. and when you make those icons larger, it actually gets rid of the name underneath each app icon. So hopefully you know which app icons are which. I'm pretty good at that at this point. But if you go back to small, it'll add the text under it. And then another thing you can do is you can kind of change the color of these. So right now it's in light mode. I can shift over to dark mode. You're gonna see that each app now has its own dark mode appearance. And I think this looks really good. Look at the Photos app in this dark mode. It just pops so much. You can also set this to automatic. So I guess during the daytime, it'll be light mode. As it switches to nighttime, it'll switch back to dark mode. But then another thing you can do is you can tint these. And you can basically customize this to tint the app color however you want. So you can see right now, it's kind of like in this bluish color, but I can shift this over to more green. And then I can change how intense that tint is with the saturation. And you can just keep doing that, right? I can go to red, I can go to yellow, blue, purple, pink, all the colors of the rainbow. And then I can increase or decrease the saturation. I can give myself like a nice black and white app icon wall screen if I wanted to. And then I can switch over to dark mode or light mode or automatic, however you want to, customize your apps. It's really cool. So now if you want just kind of like a grayscale aesthetic on your home screen, you can do that with iOS 18. Another thing we should check out is Control Center. So let's go from the top right. Let's scroll down, and this is the new Control Center page. So you can see it looks pretty similar to old Control Center, but it's slightly redesigned. The biggest new thing here is on the side, you'll actually have different areas for Control Center. So you can see these are our favorites, but if I tap over here, you'll see our music selection. If I tap over here on the home screen, you'll see the kind of like home setup I have with the HomePod in the studio. If you tap on this, you'll see all of your cellular and wireless connections like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, VPNs, satellite connection, all that stuff, right? And then we go back into favorites. Let's go ahead and add some stuff here. So we're gonna hit plus in the top left. We're going to add a control, and there's a lot to add here. So before, to access this setting, you would actually have to go into settings, and it was kind of just like this very generic page, but now we kind of can see more of what we can add on here in terms of Control Center features, and it looks like there's a lot of them. So you have utilities, you can do low power mode, flashlight, calculator, you can do that before, right? There's Print Center, there's all these vision accessibility features, voice memo, you have wallet, you have the new tap to catch feature. But let's go ahead and add something. So let's go ahead and add recognize music. And you're gonna see that's going to be added to Control Center now. And of course, if you wanna move these around, you can do that too. These still snap into a grid, or you can place them anywhere, just kind of like your iOS home icons. Another thing you'll see is they all have that pull down tab, kind of like the widgets, right? So if you wanna make this bigger, you can make that bigger. And I just noticed there's an area to add even more Control Center pages. So if you wanted to go in here, we'll just do real quick. We'll add voice memos. We will add low power mode, right? Just exit out of that. You can see I have a whole new Control Center customization page. So it just adds it on top of that. You can make a ton of these pages. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the plus button again. And look, another Control Center area pops down here. And then you can add controls to this one too. So let's hit text size, exit out of that real quick. And look, you have all these Control Center pages, the default ones, but then you can keep adding Control Center pages on top of that. You can really, really deep dive, customize these to like really specific Control Center pages. So there's a lot new with Control Center here. And look at this. There's a power button on the top right in iOS 18. I believe this is like the first time we've ever just seen a power button on the iPhone without you having to do some sort of button combination. Like, let's press this. This is kind of interesting, right? Let's press it. And yeah, I mean, you still have to slide to power off, but it actually just brings you to the iPhone turn off page. And I guess that's actually gonna reset the passcode very quickly too. Yeah, so you're gonna have to enter in your passcode when you do that. That isn't even the end of customization though, because of course you also have your lock screen, right? Now, previously, you've always had a lock screen where you just had, the camera and flashlight controls, right? Oh, that's a new animation, that's kind of cool. You have the camera and flashlight controls right here. But now with iOS 18, you can change this. So we're gonna long press here. Get my Face ID. hit customize. We already have our wallpaper, right? But look, you can actually change these out now. So I'm going to get rid of these. Let's hit the plus. And again, you're surfaced with all of those same controls that you saw in Control Center. So instead of the flashlight, maybe I want access to my remote. Where is remote? Let's search. Remote. I want to easily access my Apple TV. And instead of camera, I need to do some quick math problems. So let's do calculator. So now when I go to my lock screen, I can just hit calculator. Gotta long press it. There goes the calculator. Oh my goodness, a scientific calculator. Math. Oh, Math Notes is on the iPhone too. I guess we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go 9,000 times 2, 18,000. If we go back to the lock screen, I have my Siri remote, long press that, and then the Siri remote comes up. The Messages app, also has just more features in it now. So one of those is the ability to schedule messages. So you can see right over here that I'm writing out this message to say hello. I go to hit the plus sign. And if you go to more, you can see there's an option now for send later. So you hit send later, and then you can schedule this, right? So we can schedule this. How far in advance can we go? I guess not that far in advance. It looks like June 24th is the maximum time I can set this to at 5:07 p.m. Yeah, so it's not like I can, I was kind of hoping that when I could schedule a message, I was hoping I could schedule them years in advance so I could just keep sending people messages after I passed up. Let's not talk about that. Okay, so anyway, we're going to send this for Monday, June 24th at 5:07 p.m. We're going to say hello. Hope you are having a fantastic day. And then we're going to hit send. So you can see that we sent that out to be sent on Monday, June 24th at 5:07 p.m. And then you can go over here and edit this, and you can edit the time that you want to send the message, or you can delete that message in case you didn't want to wish that person a good day, but we're going to keep that. On Monday, 5:07, they are going to be greeted with have a fantastic day. Now, another cool thing in Messages is new tap back capabilities. So my friend just sent me that Severance Season 2, got its first look on Apple TV Plus, excited for that. So we're going to go over here, and I just want to kind of tap back that. Okay, it opened a preview too, but look at this. You can see there's new tap back options, right? Before you only had like a few generic ones, but now you can keep scrolling, and now I have access to emojis. So now I can hit the plus button over here, get access to emojis and stickers, and I can basically, what am I going to send him? I'm going to send him, I like Severance, so we're going to do party. So now I can show him that I'm celebrating the release of Severance Season 2. Another thing you could do in iMessages now is you can get messages effects. So I'm going to write, can't wait. And then I'm going to select this. I'm going to hit this little text icon here. And look at this. I can make this bigger. I can shake it. We can explode. We can do a bloom, jitter, ripple, a nod, small. I think we're going to do an explode. We'll send that through. All right, so one of the big announcements today was that the iPad was getting the calculator app for the first time. And I just thought, okay, they're bringing a calculator app to the iPad, right? But they actually made the iPhone calculator app more powerful and made it feature parity with that really cool iPad calculator app. So look at this. You can see this is the standard calculator, right? So you can enter, this, right? But look, on the top left, you actually have a history now of your calculations. So you can see 55 plus 55, 110. The calculation we did before, 18,000. Now look at this. I'm going to tap here, and you can see there's a basic calculator. There's a scientific calculator. And we click on that one. And there's Math Notes too. So I should be able, let me see if I can do this right. So I should be able to draw 2 plus 2. Forgive me for my awful writing here. And that's going to say it equals 4. 10 times 10 equals, is it even going to pick that? Okay, it does, 100. Wow, that's pretty good considering I'm scribbling so bad on this. But yeah, you can actually do live math equations in the calculator app, write them out, put the equation in, and it'll calculate it for you. That's so cool. So all that cool stuff that they brought to the iPad calculator app is also now on the iPhone calculator app. Apple went above and beyond with the calculator updates this year. Actually, look at this. There's so much they have in the calculator app now. So you can pin this. You can put a line and grid. Look, you can put a whole grid in the calculator app. You can use the light background. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, does that only carry over to there? I was wondering, can you get like light mode calculator? But I guess that's just for the handwritten stuff. You can attach. You can record audio in the calculator app. It's like a full-blown notes app. This is interesting. Look at this. The math of 2 + 2 = 4. And it has the transcription there too. Interesting. So there's a lot. The calculator app is basically a full-blown notes app, which is really interesting. Another cool thing with iOS 18 is finally a dedicated password app. I auto-save so many of my passwords with Apple's like default Face ID unlock. And before you always had to like go into settings, go into keychain to find those passwords if you needed to like edit them. Now they have a much more streamlined app to do that. So let's see what that looks like. Let's hit continue. Let's allow notifications. And then here it is, right? Here's all my passwords, my passkeys, Wi-Fi, security, I guess deleted. Here's probably security. Oh, verification codes can go in here. So we're just gonna go into this password over here. I'm gonna block that out, but you can see my password. You can set up a verification code. You can change your password. It'll let you know if the password's strong, right? All the stuff that you would expect from a standard password manager is now just enabled by default with your iPhone's passwords. Oh, another feature I wanted to check out was in the Notes app, because apparently you can now do live transcriptions of your recorded audio. So let's go into Notes. I believe you press this attachment, hit record audio. All right, let's try this out. And this looks like the transcription thing, right? So I hit this. Oh, look at that. So now whatever I'm saying is being automatically written down in the Notes app through this voice recording. So that's actually going to be really helpful if you have to tape like a meeting or something like that. And then at the end of it, you can send out the written notes, whatever was said, rather than just sending out the voice recording. And I can't remember exactly what I said, but it looks to be pretty accurate. So that's nice. So we're going to hit done. And there's the audio recording. I can play that. And this looks like the transcription thing, right? So I hit this. Okay, so it plays that. But then you can go back in here and you can just see everything that was said during that audio recording. That's pretty cool. Another thing you're supposed to be able to do in iOS 18 is the ability to lock specific apps with Face ID. So I guess the scenario is you hand your phone to someone to use and maybe you don't want them to access your messages or Safari or music or something like that, your photos. You can lock that behind Face ID. So I think the way to do that would be to long press it. I guess I wouldn't want, what do I want? Not access. Let's do Twitter. I don't want people to see my Twitter. That's mine, right? So I'm gonna put require Face ID right on the top here. Now you can either just do require Face ID, which is just gonna, I'm gonna scan my face. And now when I go to open Twitter, it's gonna ask for my Face ID to open it, or I guess it's called X, right? So it's gonna ask for Face ID for X. Open that up, and then it opens. Let's try it with Robinhood. So we're gonna long press this. We're gonna hit require Face ID. Now we're going to hide and require Face ID. So it says this app will no longer be visible on your iPhone except in a few places such as settings. Face ID will be required to reveal, open, or use Siri with the app. So it'll obscure the app icon and name. There will also be obscured folder for hidden apps in your app library, and you will not be able to get notifications or calls from this app. So again, this is if you really want to hide this app, make sure that no one can see it. And for this, that's even a little bit too secure for me, even though I guess, I don't want someone to access my Robinhood. So I'm actually going to exit out of that one, and I'm just going to set this to just require Face ID. So if you really want to hide apps behind that, you can. Now, there's actually a lot more features in iOS 18 that I haven't even gone over yet. And I think the biggest features I haven't gone over yet are the new Apple Intelligence AI features. This was the end of their presentation where they announced all these writing features, photo features, this really cool generative emoji feature where you can make your own custom emoji with AI. And I thought these all looked really cool. Unfortunately, they are not available at all in this iOS 18 beta. And it even says on Apple's website that it's coming in beta, these intelligence features, in the fall. So I don't think we'll actually see any Apple Intelligence features roll out in beta form until September, which is a long, it's not going to be probably in any of these developer betas from here on out. But yeah, no, even if you go to access Siri right now, it's still just the regular Siri. It doesn't even get the new animation where it lights up the edges of the display. So unfortunately, no Apple Intelligence features to test out in this iOS 18 beta. But overall, I am really enjoying the iOS 18 beta. I like all the new customization features. Control Center seems really powerful. I really want to dig down and customize that. I like being able to lock the apps. I like the new messages features. I like being able to tap back with emoji. There's a lot of cool stuff here. And I gotta say, I don't want to jinx it, but so far, testing this out right now, it has been pretty stable. I haven't noticed too many bugs or really any major groundbreaking bugs. The only thing I will say is right after I updated it, the phone was extremely hot and sluggish, but since I let the phone cool down after that update, it seems to be operating just fine. So a pretty stable developer beta so far. We'll see, right? You probably shouldn't download it though, because I don't want your phone to get ruined. So just live vicariously through me and others. But if you do want to download the iOS developer beta, you have to go to Apple's website and then make sure you sign up for like a developer account. And I think it's free. And then they will push that developer beta into your settings. Then you have to just go click a box and download it, right? But yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful in checking out some of the first looks at the iOS 18 beta. Really hope you liked it. If you did, please leave me a like. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.